Namaskaram. In Mahabharatam, we are on the pilgrimage of the Pandavas, and the Lomasha who led the Pandavas, he was taking them to the holy places, and each place he would explain the background. Who were all the holy people, famous people who lived there, and we went through finished the story of Agastya. I think that was the last one. I don't remember. Anyway, next they reached a place where Lomasha said that one one sage by name Vibhandaka lived in this forest exactly, or in a hut, in a hermitage right here. He had a son by name Risyasringa. Both father and son were great sages. They had great powers of meditation. And that was true especially of Risyasringa. The reason was that Vibhandaka lived with his son Risyasringa, and there was no one else around. Risyasringa had never seen a female, one of the female species in his life. He had only seen his father and some of the sages who visited Vibhandaka. So that was one reason. So he had done only meditation and meditation, nothing more. And it was the Risyasringa's power of which he acquired through meditation had become famous. Even in distant places, people heard about Risyasringa, a man of great meditational powers. And in the Anga kingdom, there was a king by name Lomapada. And Lomapada, Anga is part of Bihar, present-day Bihar. That is where Anga lies. And next to that is Vanga, which is present-day Bengal, and further south is Kalinga, which is present-day Orissa. These are roughly, not exactly. So in the Anga kingdom lived a king by name Lomapada. He was related to Sri Rama's father, Dasharatha. And he had one day, by some ignorance or whatever it is, he had his priest became very angry with him. Maybe he disrespected him knowingly, unknowingly, and he left the kingdom and went away. And because he was very popular among Brahmins, all the Brahmins, his kingdom also left. And because of that, the great religious ceremonies, religious rites like Yajna were not done because there were no Brahmins. And because of that, there was no rain in the kingdom for several years, and the land became dry. Uh, there was no water flowing in the rivers, so the cattle uh, died of uh, starvation. And Lomapada was naturally sorry. He didn't know how to remedy the situation. Then some advised that there is a sage by name Risyasringa who lives along the river Ganga, and if you could somehow get him to your land, just when he sets foot, rain will fall. Such is his power. And Lomapada asked, how? How can I get him? Then people said, look, it is tricky because his father, Vibhandaga, will never part with him. He doesn't want Risyasringa to be exposed to common life. So you have to trick him when, what is it called, Vibhandaga is not around. And one tip they gave was that Risyasringa had never met a woman. So somehow if you could employ women to attract him, then you may manage to get him to your land. And Lomapada called some courtesans, prostitutes, said, this is the task. There is a sage, you have to get him here somehow. Then the very name Vibhandaka made them afraid. They said, no, we can't go anywhere near Vibhandaka. Just by the sight of us, he will curse us. So please excuse us. And after asking several prostitutes, one old woman agreed. She said, okay, I will try my best. And she took, selected very young, beautiful courtesans around, including her own daughter, and dressed them carefully, and took some sweets and some wine, and went near the place. And they came by a boat, and they kept everything in the boat. They arranged the boat like a hermitage with trees and wines and small herbs and shrubs. And they went in search of the hermitage and located the place, and they watched from a distance. And one day they spent a few days. One day they could see that Vibhandaka had disappeared. Then they quickly went with what they carried, the sweets and the wine, and went into the hermitage. And Risyasringa was alone, and he saw, by the very look of them, he thought, oh, these are sages of great meditational powers, because of their long hair and their dress, they were scantily dressed. Their dress and makeup, they looked like sages to Risyasringa. So he was very happy. He welcomed them and offered them fruit. They said, no, we don't take these fruits. in our hermitage, we only eat this. And they gave the sweets to Risyasringa. He had never eaten anything like that, so he liked them very much. And he gave him wine, very delicious, delicate wines. And he drank them, told them, oh, these are the special drinks we make. And he drank them, and he was slightly intoxicated. So he was greatly attracted. The natural attraction which a young man will feel to a female, though he had never looked at a female before. And they said, we will come again. Then Risyasringa asked, where do you live? I want to visit your hermitage. Yeah, we will take you there, but wait, we will go and come back again. And they went and waited. And meanwhile, they studied the pattern of Vibhandaka leaving and coming. And they knew that if he left for 2-3 days. So next time he left, they came and said to Risyasringa, now let us go, we'll take you to our hermitage, please come. So Risyasringa was very happy to go with them, and they said, our hermitage is very, very special. We spend most of our time on the river. So they took him to the boat, and they took the boat to the Anga kingdom. And there they all landed. So Lomapada had arranged with great care special reception to them. So people came with arati and all that. They received Risyasringa, and as soon as Risyasringa landed, it started raining, torrential rain. And anyway, they took him to the palace. And Lomapada asked his daughter Shanda to take special care of Risyasringa. And he was living happily there. And Vibhandaka meanwhile came to the hermitage. He didn't find his son, so he was worried. Then asking people, searching, he came to the Anga kingdom. And there Lomapada made gave special instructions to the people that receive the sage who is coming, and if he asks anything, they say, you are all the servants of Risyasringa. And when Vibhandaka came, he was very pleased with the reception he received. And everybody said, oh, we all serve sage Risyasringa. And Vibhandaka was pleased, oh, my son has got that much prominence here. And he reached near the palace. Vibhandaka, Lomapada received him and took him, gave him special asanas to sit. And Shanta first came and served Lomapada, Vibhandaka. And Vibhandaka was very pleased with Shanta. And he asked, who is this lady? Then they said, oh, she is your son's wife and my daughter. That is what Lomapada said. So Vibhandaka, oh yes, the king's daughter has been married to my son. Oh, it's very nice. So on the whole, he was very pleased with everything. The importance given to Risyasringa, the reception he himself received. So he was happy. He told Risyasringa, okay, you stay on, but when you get a son, then you must return to the hermitage. With that he left. And That is the story of Risyasringa, how he was brought to the Anga kingdom to make rain there. And this is the exact, Ramasha said, this is the exact place where the hermitage stood. You all take bath in this pond, and then we will proceed. Today time is over. Namaskaram.